Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today back on Art of Rally, probably one of my favourite racing games that has come out this year. It is absolutely wonderful and there has been a new update for it. This has brought some new cars. So there are 8 new cars. I think now they're only spread across the first categories. So we're not talking about Group A cars. It's Group 2, 3 and 4 have got some new vehicles, some of which I recognise, some of which I am not sure about. So we can play the game and try and figure out what car it is. Let us, we'll go to Germany to test out some of the Group 2 vehicles. So this is your earliest class of car, your Escorts, Minis, Alpines, BMWs, etc. And then we have this. This is new. I don't know what it is. A Renault? Is it the Gordini? Is that correct? I can't actually know. I think it might be. I can't remember the numbers that go with it. And I might not even remember that one correctly. We're going to call it the Gordon. In fact, it is called, I guess, judging by the name, actually. I should look at the name as well. That'll figure out. But also we have the Fulvia. The kind of quite an important rally car. Let's have a go with Etch-a-Sketch Renault. Well, almost Etch-a-Sketch Renault. Now, the last time I was driving this game, I was driving a much faster car, so this is going to be kind of quite the shock, really, to everything. Other new things we have got is Ghosts. There is Ghost mode. This is new. You know what? We'll stick that on. We'll see how this compares to the Ghost car. So yeah, it's a neat little update. It's a free update. Maybe we don't have a personal best down here with this category. Never mind then. Ignore me for trying that. But yeah, there is now Ghost mode, so you can race against ghosts yourself or of your friends, if you so wish. Oh, God, I forgot about chicanes. I forgot about I think they're the tank stoppers that are around. Those massive concrete. The amount of times I've crashed into them in bloody dirt games and wrecked cars. Oh, come on, here we go. This class, this is the slowest class. Oh, in the game. The cars, I mean, they're not easy to drive. As ever, when it comes to a racing game, it's difficult to go very quick with lots of cars. This one was a fairly straightforward pick up and play. If you haven't seen Art of Rally before, you probably should have done. It is absolutely wonderful. It's a top-down racer that's, or top-down rally game, I guess you could say. There's not very many of them. That does a miraculously good job of making everything very drivable. Top-down is incredibly difficult to pull off. And I talk about this every time when we play this game, because the top-down camera angle hasn't been done very much recently and is incredibly. I think maybe Micro Machines was the last game to really make it work very well. And yeah, this is by far and away the best I've ever played. And it works really well for a rally game. You don't need pace notes when you can kind of see what's coming up. It's just a very different sort of rally. Oh, another thing the update did that has made it much nicer racing on here is the jumps are now a lot less bumpy when you land them. You'll still bounce around a little bit. I just saw if you were looking at the inside corner there, you might have noticed inside the hay bale there was a person jumping up and down. I don't think that's supposed to be there. Ooh, this car is grippy until all of a sudden it isn't. It's very grippy until it's not, and then it's very slidey. It's kind of catchable. What are you going with that? Your tank has sunk. Are you going to be able to get that out again? Probably not. But I don't think there's going to be able to get... Oh, unstuck, and I have rolled. We have rolled. Well, it has been a proper thorough test of the new car. It can... Oh, that's just the finish line. That felt like a good run. I'm not an expert at this game. I enjoy it. I'm not amazing at it. Apparently not many people run Group 4 through here if I'm 185th and had a very, very large accident right at the very end there. So that's the new sort of lower class vehicle. We'll go up to Group 3 next. Where shall we head? Norway. Let's go to a Norwegian stage. I haven't done much on the road. Jeez, that's a long stage. Oh, I didn't know there was a tarmac stage in Norway. Snow and tarmac. Ooh, that looks fun. Sure, let's go here. Not Group 3. Group 2 is what we want. Wait. No, it is Group 3 we want. Ignore me. I'll remember. I'll remember, maybe. So, this one here, we're talking 80s cars. I think 80s... Yeah. Escort. We've got 131 Abarth. We've got RX3. We've got Stratos in there. And we've 70s cars. So Stratos, Ferrari. I haven't quite unlocked the Porsche yet. Now, this, I don't know what it is. You see, from the front, I thought it was a Skyline. I thought it was the 70s Skyline, but A, it says it's French, and normally but the back's very, very different, and yeah, it's French. I don't know what that is. It just looks like Skyline. I also don't know what these two are. I'm guessing by the fact they're Czech, they're probably Skodas of some sort. And that looks like it might have a rear engine, which would make sense, maybe. I'm not sure on those. I mean, that one there, we all know. The Datsun, Fair Lady Z, whatever you want to call it. Very, very cool car to have. But yeah, I don't know these two. This one here was a prototype, I guess. Let's have a go with the weird-looking orange thing. You have it in camo paint if you want. There we go. I mean, that's kind of close. Sure. I have no doubt everyone is going to be shouting at me as to what these particular cars are, but I mean, they're fun. I say fun additions, especially if they're slightly more unusual vehicles. Again, I mean, they're not actual cars, I stress. Of course, they are close enough that you can play guess what it might be without incurring the wrath of any manufacturers. Right, here we go. What do you drive like through these corners? So it's going to be a bit quicker than the previous car. I mean, there's not crazy differences in the handlings between all the vehicles. There are some that are nicer to drive than others. Shall we say the Stratos, I seem to remember, was very twitchy. Whoop. I'm going to get a little bit over to you. There's differences between driving rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Very noticeable differences between rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Sound like a supercharger? Might just be the way the engine sounds. There's definitely quite a high-pitched whine going on with it. I didn't actually... Maybe I should have read the blurb for the car a bit better. Now, I kind of skimmed Reddit, saw that it was a prototype for the car that came after it, and then didn't pay any attention. Interesting. Is it a supercharger? Curious engine sounds are going on. Or maybe I'm just going mad. That is a distinct possibility. This too is a nice vehicle to drive across the jump. Look at that. See, a lovely smooth landing. That was not the time to run across the road there, was it? I'm half tempted about that frozen lake on the infield. You know what? I've got to investigate for science. Oh, I wanted to play on the ice. Damn it. It was a worthy cause for science to see what happened. It was solid there. The car hit it. It just teleported me back before we could go and explore the lake. Oh, we ran out of gears in this. It would help a little bit. Longer gears. There are tents out on the lake, but I am not allowed. Oh, okay, we're flying through there. It's unlike Sweden in the normal rally games I played where you touch the snowbank. I mean, I guess this has got the snowbanks lining it. But I'm so used to if you go a millimetre wrong in these rallies, you hit the snowbank and the car just digs in and rolls. We get away with a little bit more in this. As you saw, still very possible to roll. Oh, God. Ugh. We're fine over there. Should have probably gone down to third. Oh, very. I mean, rally cars do generally have short gears, of course, short gear ratios, but it's not quite very short. You know what? I'll go with that as a way. I think it's tuning. You could extend the gears a little bit if you wanted to use that car, perhaps. Yeah, it's an odd-looking thing. It kind of looks a little bit like an Alpine in places, a little bit like an 037 in other places. Like the front kind of reminds me of an 037-ish. The back is very out. It's a peculiar thing. I mean, there are two rally cars you're going to not take inspiration from because the 037 came later, but still, that's a good combination. That's a good combination indeed. Shall we go to Sardinia? Let's go and play around. That looks fun and nasty and not horrible at all. We'll jump into the Group 4 cars now. So, we move up in power. You know, we've got Volvos and Renault 5s and so on. And then we have... I didn't actually know they ran the Alpine, the GTA. There is also a GTV6, pretty much. So yeah, big turbos. That was still not sure that one. They're big turbo, much more powerful cars going on here. What do we fancy? Go the rear-wheel drive. I mean, that's a cool. It looks cool, doesn't it? And we can have again. I love the liveries are just close enough to feel like they might be. To know what they are, like you'll recognise the M3's livery, you'll recognise liveries of the vehicles that actually went racing, which is cool. All right, I don't know if I actually showed off Sardinia before. This one, I mean, all the stages are pretty great, I have to say. With the jumps now less bumpy, does make things much easier. You've still always got the difficulty of trying to God, guess with the elevation changes just how bigger a jump it is. That's the only real... Oh, clonked that one. It's fine. The only real difficulty with this top-down camera, while it does do everything remarkably well, it's just the elevation change. You'll get the hang of it to an extent. Like you'll see here, there's a bit of a elevation change, but up here, never quite sure. The more you play it, the more you'll kind of get used to it. But that's the one bit so you will get used to eventually. I do regret my choice of livery in regards to the yellow. Does kind of blend in with the scenery quite easily. Many colours on the roof, good. Almost identical to the floor. Rest of car, bad. If this was solid yellow, it would actually be quite difficult. Because, of course, let's say with this camera, you drive the car slightly differently. You're kind of glancing up ahead, and yeah, yellow around here was a portrait. Not that I should be on the infield, of course. You go on the infield, you will be losing. Let's say infield, but you go off the specific path, you'll lose a little bit of time. Oh no! Or you lose time. You go slower. There we go. Dip the wheels off there. You just don't go as quick on that surface. I cannot do word. It takes a lot of concentration with the old rallying and doing commentary at the same time. One of the more difficult things to do. I'm enjoying this stage though. Enjoying the car as well. These rear-wheel drive machines are good fun, and again, it's not twitchy like some of the vehicles can be. It is quite powerful, and it's more powerful than the cars we've been driving so far. You will notice that I am not really the sort to be sliding the cars around. Even in rally games, I tend to go for smooth is fast, and it works to an extent. Make much less mistakes. I mean, different games are a lot worse in terms of the old say difficulty in sliding the cars around. Here's actually, despite the weird camera angle and everything, this is actually not too bad at all. If and when it occurs, although I've made a mess of that corner. That's on me, that's not on the game. That's just me being incompetence, basically. I didn't actually realise I had a tyre session, but never mind. And now I'm back to not being able to see my car as we race it between the rocks. There is definitely some trouble if we go a little bit wrong through here, although not as bad as some. There's no crazy... I mean, there's some stages that are a bit narrower than others. There's no real crazy type technical, nasty rally stages in all of this. Oh, we're going to go sideways through there. We'll be fine through our next couple of corners. Somewhere this is quite a long stage. Oh, there's a bar on the left, of course. It is very minimalist in terms of the UI, which I like. It just keeps everything uncluttered. Sometimes you miss where stuff is, though. There we go. We're across the line. It seems like an alright sort of a time. And I mean, there we go. Those are, like I say, the new stuff, which is it's good. It's good fun. Oh, there is mods. I got excited for a second, thinking there might be car mods. The mods are for livery, so you can do custom liveries now on your vehicle and import them to the game if you so wish. I haven't looked at that as of yet, but again, it's a cool addition to have. Where do we want to go to finish off? Shall we go to Finland? Why not? We'll go to a scary finish stage. What could go wrong with that? What car do I fancy driving in all of this? It was the most of the group 3, so let's go show off a different one of these. So we had to go with this thing. It wasn't actually aspirated, just as a funny whine. I wasn't expecting superchargers on cars back here, but just a funny whine going on. Or do we play the... Ooh, let's go with the peculiar French car. I'm really trying to rack my brains to think of what it is. The front's a Skyline and the back's a bloody Pacer. I don't always get the Pacer and Gremlin confused. Oh, right. Pacer's the fishbowl, right? The fishbowl's the one I'm talking about. The back's kind of... I mean, it's not, but... I get if I have a personal best, sure, but I don't think I will for, random class. Alright, here we go! Yeah, there's no funny whine with this one. This also feels immediately livelier than the Skoda. I'm going to just assume Skoda, and maybe I'll be wrong, maybe it's something else, but I know they did have some rally cars around the place. We're going to go very sideways through all of there. Okay, this feels more oversteery. I mean, it's a nice chuckable car around here. That's for sure. As I said, actual performance difference between the vehicles, I'm not sure there is too many, but there is little subtleties to them. And we're not spinning it yet, and we're prattling around on gravel asking for trouble, so that's a good thing. Don't be a fool, we will fall off something. Oh, well, that's fine. Apparently we got away with that corner car. You will get away with a little bit. You ask too much and the game will tell you off and reset you. Oh, that was a poor time to cross. Just one lunatic. Oh! Wait, hold on, were those... I'm not even going to question what those moose, deer, whatever they were doing. It looked like they were doing something though. I don't remember there being animals around before. Maybe I've just not noticed them because I'm frantically trying to hold on to a rally car around a rally stage. Don't go and crash into those log piles. Many bad memories of the Welsh Rally. Welsh Rally? I think it was. In, Dirt Rally. Okay, this car's quite good fun. Yeah, I quite like this one. It's quite mad, but it's really controllable with the lunacy. Not the way I would know it. Typical what I said earlier about driving smooth and everything. Not at all the way I would normally drive a car, but it encourages it, and it actually has the control to go with it. And I just about have the skill. I might get it wrong a little bit, but here we go. That's the finish line over here, and we will cross that one. Here we go. I mean, that felt like a pretty decent time, pretty decent run for that vehicle. So, well, there we go. That is a look at the latest update. It's just a free update for the game. This is not DLC stuff. It's a free update. Apparently, there's some more cars and some more stages, more locations coming next year. For this one, I believe there's free updates as well. So, yeah, if you have a rally, haven't had a look at it for a little while, go and have a go. I very much recommend have a go to these cars. They're good fun, some interesting stuff in here. And if you haven't played this game before, don't be put off by the camera as such. I really do recommend it. I think it's a wonderful driving game, a wonderful looking game. As I said, it may not quite be to everyone's taste, but it is something very, very different. And as I said, probably one of my favourite racing and driving games of the year. So do go and check it out. There's now more cars and more reasons, and hopefully more stuff coming soon. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.